After over 5 years in development and 3 years of hype, Watch Dogs is finally available for us to play. And boy, does it not disappoint. First off, you won't hear me comparing this to any other game, specifically Grand Theft Auto 5, because that is completely unfair and completely unjust. These games are trying to do two completely different things. It's like judging two fine paintings. Yeah, they're both done with oil paintings. Yeah, they're both displayed in the same area, but they're done by completely different artists trying to express completely different things. It is completely unfair and unjust to judge this against Grand Theft Auto 5, so you won't see me doing that at all. Let's start off with the story. The story is actually really riveting. It has a very slow start. Some of the characters you don't exactly feel for, but towards the middle part of the story, specifically when T-Bone is finally introduced, it is superb. It ramps up, especially in stakes, and the acting gets much better as well. One thing that is a bit muddy is that it's unclear who the villain really is. This story has about 4 interchangeable villains that at any given time they can just like, oh, well, we're going to this guy now, we're going after this guy now. And it feels a little incoherent. It can get a little messy. But in the end, it works out very well. Without spoiling too much, this is the greatest superhero origin story in disguise I've ever seen. Now, no, he doesn't don a cape or any kind of suit and run around, oh, look, I'm so-and-so, man. No, but he gains an identity as a vigilante. He's basically Batman without the $1 billion in gadgets, which is fucking awesome. And I have a strange feeling that the vigilante will make a big return in the sequel. Now let's get to the gameplay. The driving is what everybody complains about, and it is a little floaty, especially in certain vehicles, but it's easily mastered, especially if you make good use of the e-brake, which is tied to the B button or circle. Also, aiming is a breeze. It has just a little white dot that it has been present in many Rockstar games as of late. Max Payne 3, Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto 5. But there is no lock-on feature whatsoever, which is awesome for multiplayer. And it does take a bit getting used to, coming from other open-world games where it has the lock-on feature, but you do have a way to counteract that and make it a little easier in single-player, and that is the bullet time mode, your focus. It can be activated at any time. You do have a meter in the bottom left-hand corner, and it allows you to get some really awesome headshots. There's an achievement for getting 4 kills in one bout of focus, which is actually pretty easy to do when you find the right group. Now, the world itself, this is the greatest part about Watch Dogs. It feels alive. It feels like they actually fleshed out this world. Now, there's not a bunch of random NPCs doing random things like there is in, say, Grand Theft Auto 5, even though I said I wouldn't compare it to that. I had to there. But the actual world is fleshed out. It feels like a real city instead of just being flat roads with a few buildings you can go into on a map that is otherwise vacant. This feels like a real city. This feels like it's fleshed out. There's a tremendous attention to detail. You can see cans blowing in the wind on the sidewalk. Shifting. You see trash shifting inside of the L train as you're standing in riding inside of it. It's little notes and details like that that help sell this game and really make me fall in love with it. Now, where this game falters the most, and this really sucks because this adds to the end game, is the side missions. They're boring. They really are. The boring ones are fixer contracts and gang hideouts. But the investigations, like the QR codes, the missing persons, those are all very good. I wish more side activities had to do with that. But sadly, there are 40 fixer contracts, which require you to get in a car, run away from a certain group, get in a car, drive away at a certain speed. And it just gets boring and repetitive. It's like, I can't do 40 missions of this. This is boring. Granted, each one has its own unique objective most of the time, but it just gets a little repetitive. Like, I don't care. I don't care. Now, that could be because this game used to be a driver game, which is another reason I like it. It feels like a driver game. And I am a huge fan of the Driver series. Driver San Francisco was a bit of a letdown for me because it was an open world. You couldn't explore it. It was just, you're in a car. It was basically an open world racing game, and that was a big disappointment, especially after following Driver parallel lines. Watch Dogs absolutely feels like the next-gen driver game we all deserved last gen. In fact, at one point in the story, Aiden Pierce, the character that you play as, calls himself the driver. It's honestly like Ubisoft didn't have any faith that they could do a driver reboot, so they decided to rebrand it as Watch Dogs. I might have actually preferred this game to be a driver game, but the fact that it is what it is doesn't detract anything. This game is amazing. The multiplayer itself is pretty good. Now, don't think of it as GTA Online. Again, I have to compare it here. There's no story, there's no missions for you to do with your friends. This is just an open sandbox that you get dropped into, or gameplay modes that you can do, like online decryption, which 3 versus 3, you get a briefcase and you try and take it. The sandbox is comparable to GTA 4, where you just get dropped into the map, do what you want to inside the map. But in this world, that is really, really fun. So far, it hasn't gotten old. It's fun to go out to Pawnee, jump across the bridge, do some random events, just hold up shop in front of a store and just cause all kinds of chaos. It's fun. The game is fun. But the big standout in the multiplayer is the online hacking. You can just be in your game running around doing side missions, and all of a sudden you're getting hacked. It's completely seamless and completely awesome. There is a loading screen for the player who's loading in, but it has to load them towards you, so that's expected. But for the invadee, it is completely seamless. It's so good. It feels like next gen multiplayer. This is the kind of experiences that I want with next gen. This multiplayer mode is available on the current gen copies, if I do believe, but the online free roam is not. One big gripe that I have about the game overall is the music. First off, the music selection ranges from, oh my god, this song is amazing, to god awful. There's no way you can select what song that you want either. You have to cycle through each and every song. It's just one huge playlist. There are no radio stations. It's like you have Aiden Pierce's iPod and you're just playing every song on shuffle. I don't want to listen to rap and then electronica and then hard rock. I want to listen to either or. So having radio stations would have greatly helped this game. Honestly, I just cut the radio off. I did. After about 10 hours in, I just cut the radio off. It got annoying. Getting into a car, just hearing this random song, and then I was like, I don't like this. And you have to skip for about 10 minutes trying to find a song that you want to listen to. It just got boring and repetitive. Basically, if you want to listen to music while you play this, put it in your headphones, or listen to it on your console if you have it on current gen. But that's not a major gripe, but it doesn't detract from the game too much. But that's, for an open world game, that is a disappointment. Also, it should be noted that while you're driving a car, you cannot shoot a gun. But while you're online, sitting in the passenger seat, you can shoot out the window. So that's cool for online. I guess when you're the driver, you're supposed to concentrate on driving. Hacking is your weapon in single player, so it makes sense from a gameplay standpoint. It just takes a while to get used to not being able to shoot at targets you're chasing down, shoot at their tires or anything like that. You have to use hacking, which it does allow you to get creative. It does open up new gameplay options, which I really like. Overall, Watch Dogs is a very unique experience that I highly recommend, and you should absolutely buy this game at full price. Thank you. I've been DaBeardedXeno for Clicking Phoenix Entertainment. If you like this review, please subscribe for more awesome content like that. We have awesome E3 coverage coming up next week, and we try to post a video daily. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day. Hope you enjoyed this review, and if you did, please give it a like down below. Goodbye.